Okay, so I'm bored, and I kind of wanted to know, as a solo person going on holiday, what do I need to do to have a good holiday experience? What do I need to do to get a good price? And where should I go? Right? These are the sort of things as a solo traveler that's in my mind. Of course, there are many other things as well that we can get into in terms of solo travel, things like medical, for example, things like entertainment, that sort of thing. But for the moment, these are the big three things which are on my mind when I'm solo traveling. So I'm kind of making this YouTube channel at the moment to give you an idea of what I would do in those kind of situations. So the first thing for me is to understand where I want to go, right? So when it comes to where you want to go, you got to ask yourself a couple of things. And the things that I normally ask myself is, do I want to go to a hot country, a cold country? Do I want to go to the beach? Do I want to go to a town place? Is it a popular tourist destination? Is it a local province? These are the sort of questions, right, that you want to be asking. Now, you could get quite deep into it when you're booking a holiday as to kind of where exactly you want to go. So, something that can help is just like mind mapping it out, and that can give you a good idea. For me, I don't really do mind maps. What I do is I kind of go on recommendations. So, for example, I go for a Thai massage every now and again in my local area, and I get recommendations that way to say, right, okay, well, have you thought about going to things like Phuket? Have you thought about going to Koh Samui? Have you thought about going to Chiang Mai? Those sort of places, for example. And you can get some really good information that way, especially from people who are local to the area. So when you're going to things like Thai massage in my local area, they're all Thai people. So they tell me from their perspective how you should go about kind of booking, what you should go and see, what are the good places. And it's so important to try and get that insight. For me, it's been invaluable, especially when going to places like Koh Samui and having a look at things like Choweng Beach, for example, has been pretty good. So that's just a couple of things. But say, for example, you don't have that sort of support structure. So what do you do? Kind of what's the sort of thing that you should look at? Okay, well, have a look on YouTube. Perhaps there's something there. One, for example, I can give you was Varanasi for me, which is the next trip that I wish to go on, because I quite like the spirituality aspect of a holiday. So why would I choose Varanasi? Well, I found it on a program of James May doing his thing, and he went through India, and I'm trying to remember what the name of the show is called, and I'll bring it up here. Let's see. So it's James May's. I think it's called James May's India. India season 3, where he talks about Varanasi. James May, Our Man in India. There we go. Start season 3. So this is where he talks about Varanasi and different places in India. So Varanasi, I would say, is one for me, is because I looked at the program and I was quite captivated. So why would I choose Varanasi in terms of spirituality? Well, because it has a lot of festivals. So there's a pier in Varanasi where they do a lot of festivals, and they do things like Div Diwali, which is like the festival of the gods in association with light. They also have in Uttar Pradesh, which is the local area, they even have a temple called Ayodhya. I think it's called Ayodhya Ram Temple, and this is a temple which is specifically dedicated to Sri Ram. So they do that kind of thing there as well, which is which is pretty cool because you kind of want to see that. They also have local ethnic foods over there as well. So you might have like biryani, you might have uh, bhajia, not necessarily bhajia, but you might have like roti. They have things like roti, and they also have like a lapsi as well, which is quite popular in India as a local delicacy. So those are the kind of reasons. So that's another thing to mention as well is food. Now, food on a holiday, everyone knows food is gonna be either a killer or the saving grace. So pad thai, for example, in Thailand, every time I go to Thailand, I want to have a pad thai. Yeah. So that's the sort of thing. So that could give you a clue as to where to go, in fact, because if you have an idea of the sort of delicacies that you want to try, that can also give you that idea as to say, right, okay, I want to try, for example, the tapas, so I'll go to Spain. Or I want to try arroz, therefore I'd go back to Spain. That sort of thing, I want to try, I don't know, like get lobster, for example. Lobster is about 90 quid in the UK. In Thailand, it's about 2,000 baht, which is about 40 quid. So, I mean, you know, there you go. So that's the sort of thing. So where can you go and find that kind of information? So we talked about James May's India on the television, so that's one aspect. But you could also have a look on YouTube. So my first holiday as a solo traveler was Malaga, and that was a city in Spain. I've already been there. Very, very nice city. Very, very beachful. So you can go and have a look at the beaches. I went to a place called Torremolinos, which was quite good in the sense that you can have like a beer, you can sit down, for example, if you were into that. But it's quite a beachy area, very touristic, so you can have like some really, really good views. I'm not sure if I still have the library of my photos for it. I could still have a look because I know that my phone went in for service, so it's been a bit annoying, but it's still pretty good. So, for example, I can go to the images here, and I stayed in a place called Torremolinos. So let's see, Torremolinos. If I can, I can't spell. Okay, Torremolinos. Come on, Torremolinos. Torremolinos. That's not what I meant. Okay, I'm just going to type places to see in Malaga. That's another way that you could do it. So places to see in Malaga. You see, and you get like this is Spain. So Spain has a lot. Spain is known for bullfighting, so you can have a look at the bullfighting arenas. They're quite popular over there. So see places to see in Malaga. Volta, Malaga. So there you go. So these are some places of interest. So you have the Mercado Centro de Atanás, by the looks of it, which is a supermarket. We've got the Museum of Malaga, of automobiles, of classic automobiles. Teatro Romano di Malaga, so that's a Roman theatre. But these are the sort of things. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I didn't see that when I went to Malaga. So I have no idea what that is, but that looks super cool. So that's the sort of thing. And then you can kind of build from there, you see, and then you can kind of get that kind of, if you're into Instagram, that Instagram experience, that sort of thing that people are looking for, which just looks so picturesque, and you see kind of people there. So in Thailand, one of these places for me was Watarun. Amazingly, because you can see a lot of Thai models, and what they do is they wear traditional Thai dress. And in fact, I've got some on my camera over here, which are just models which do that sort of thing. And it's very, very interesting culturally, because they don't really mind you taking pictures of them. I don't know. I don't really know why, but they don't care. They're just going to go there and say, right, okay, cool, thank you, thank you for taking a picture of me. So that's another thing. Is kind of that cultural difference. Maybe something that you want to plan for when you book a holiday, because that could be fundamental. Maybe that's something that you're looking for, is a cultural difference. So perhaps looking for a spouse or something might come in handy. Who knows? But that's a couple of tips. So maybe once. So now what do you do? So you've got you've got your idea. You've kind of seen a couple of things. So perhaps you want to see whether or not it's safe. So is Malaga safe? I'm just using Malaga as an example. Okay, is Malaga safe for solo? Okay, female travelers is very interesting. Unfortunately, I'm not a female solo traveler, so I'll have to find somebody and get back to you on solo female travel. The only thing that I can advise for solo female travel is try to go in a group if you can. and that generally helps because then you can avoid creeps and people like that, and perhaps carry some pepper spray if you're allowed. I don't know how that would work in the airports because I think they'd probably frown on it, but maybe in the country that you go to, you can find some. So let's see, is Malaga safe for female travelers? And we get some reviews saying it's perfectly safe for female travelers. That seems to be the general consensus. So yeah, that's the sort of thing. Like I wouldn't worry too much. When I was in Malaga, it was pretty safe. I didn't see anybody trying to take things away. Thailand's pretty interesting because they literally hang money outside when they go to temples, but nobody really steals them. So fairly safe, I would say. Good for singles. Well, if you're a single traveler, pretty good. So there we go. So that's one aspect to have a look at. So safety, for example, is another aspect. But these are just the interesting thing about this is that they're kind of conscious and unconscious decisions. I'm just highlighting things that could be a potential issue when you're booking a holiday. But there we go. So now that we know roughly where we want to go, right? So let's say places to see in Malaga, right? So in Malaga, and I'm wondering kind of where we can go in Malaga before I book the flight. So we know Malaga is a big place. We know that that's roughly the place that we want to be. But what kind of town do we want to be in? So is there a good town that you want to be in Malaga? So places in Malaga to see. Places in Malaga to see, visit. Perhaps even we could see like a good town. Is there a good town that we can see? Let's have a look. Places in Malaga. Towns. Let's see towns. Towns for holiday. So we've got quite a few, like Marbella. So Marbella is quite a famous place. And that's just because I've been there. I can say it's quite a famous place. Like Fuengirola, I think that's how you say it. Fuengirola. This is a really nice place, actually. I've been there, and it's central Malaga. This is called Central Malaga. This is kind of This is where you can get the train up to Central Malaga from Torremolinos if you was to travel from Torremolinos. Uh, I would say Fugindola is probably better than Torremolinos in the sense that it's more accessible because you've got more shops there, and there's a really nice marina. Well, I don't know if it's called a marina or not, but there's a very nice boat pier that you can have a look at, and it has a really nice. I don't know if lake's the right word, but you kind of you get an idea of where the sea is. So if I go into Funola, that's it, this one, and we go to the images. Yeah, there you go. So this is the idea. You can see this kind of like uh, beach type thing here. Yeah, and there you go as well. So there's somebody who's made a 2020 video on YouTube. So that's another thing that you can take into account is that if you're just unsure of the actual place, perhaps looking at the place through YouTube, which is something that I've certainly done. I've certainly had a look on YouTube for different places to see, oh, this is a nice place to visit. So, for example, like Japan's been on my mind. I'm thinking about Osaka. I'm thinking about Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. I'm thinking about Cô Tong in Shenzhen. So that sort of thing. And a YouTube video, I think, really helps to just get those kind of ideas across and write things down and get that level of insight to how to book a holiday, like where you should go when you're going on holiday. So, uh, okay, we have an idea of where we want to go. It's Feniola. We'll use that as an example. So, first thing that you want to do is see the price for the holiday. So, if I was to go to Feniola, how much would it cost me? And I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. I'm sorry, but we'll just take it for now. So, I live in London, so there's a couple of things with London. London has high airfares, and that's because when the airplane goes into land, there's a certain tax that they have to pay in order to land at the airport, which is controlled by the ICAO. I believe is it the ICAO or the airspace? No, it is ICAO. It's the airspace. Essentially, they have to pay for the airspace. So when you do things like transit, when you do things like uh, go to another destination, you have to pay the tax in order to go, and that's what the airlines do, and that's why it's quite expensive in certain areas of London because it's higher. It's just higher in general. Now, there are different ways around it. So, for example, like you could go from Birmingham, Scotland. If you're in Scotland, is a bit cheaper than going in London. I know Dublin, for example, is slightly cheaper, but then again, you have to factor in the travel times that it would take you to get there. So, for example, if you're taking off from Birmingham and you're in London, you would have to take 2 hours extra to go and travel to the airport because it would take you 2 hours to get there extra from London if you are departing from London. So you'd end up with a 6 hour journey in total. So you've got to be quite careful as to how you plan your time and how you plan the cost for it as well. So that's another aspect to look into when booking a holiday. So London Heathrow is quite nearby, and I can take an underground in order to go there. So I can use that one. I could use Gatwick because Gatwick's nearby as well in London Underground terms. So those are the two main ones that I can think of just right off the bat, and even London City Airport. There's sort of 3 terminals that we can already have a look at in order to book the holiday. So now that we know that information, we can do a couple of things in order to get some cheap flights. So that will be kind of the next bit. Okay. And there's another thing that we can do also to kind of sweeten the deal. So first things first. We know that we want to go to Fagnola and we want to go from London. So first things that we want to type is London to Fagnola. So we've got a couple of prices here, 2 hours and 50 minutes, which is really excellent, in terms of kind of where we want to go. If we go to Torremolinos, it'll take about 3 hours, but we're getting some good times here. We're getting some good times. And, for here, it's quite cheap on the time of booking, which is 27th of January. So if I was going to go in about 2 weeks' time from the time of filming, because it's currently 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, at 8 o'clock at night on a Monday, where it's the 15th. So we can see at the moment it's about £26, which isn't bad. That's actually really good for a flight to Malaga. That's really good. Now we can see it's £26 at the moment. So that's another thing to bear in mind as well. If I've got different times, like what's the price? And Google Flights is actually really good for telling you the price. Kayak is pretty good as well. And Google Flights have been the main ones for me. I found them pretty good because they give you a price comparison graph. So if I look at the price graph, like right now the prices are low, right? But if I book in a couple of weeks' time, because it'll be February, the prices will go up to about £45. If I book in February 9th, we're looking at £84. If we're looking at February 15th, £93. So the price can vary quite dramatically depending on when you book. So that's another thing that you want to keep in mind as well. Okay, get an idea of what the price is at different times, and then go from there in order to book the flight. Invaluable information. Yeah? So that's one thing that you can do. Okay, so let's say we want to go, I don't know, like when's it hot? I think the last time I went was in April. So I went around April 14th, I think was the last time I went to Malaga. So what's the price then? So we can get some fairly decent price. If I go on the 17th of April and return on the 30th, we can get it for about £33. About £33. So let's see. So we got 41 on the 16th, 63 on the. Okay, that's not right. So let's get rid of that. Let's go a little bit before that. 59. When's the cheapest time? 17th. There we go. 17th, and we come back on the 13th. So about 2 weeks, right? 2-week holiday on the 17th. Let's click OK. Let's click done. Okay, £30 round trip on Wizz Air, which is the cheapest one. 2.5 hours. If you want a little bit extra speed, we can spend £10 and go with Iberia. That's only about 5 minutes extra speed. So pretty pointless. Let's see if there's anything that's faster. Nope, looks like it's 2 hours and 50 minutes the fastest time. But that gives us a bit of an interesting thing, because I'm wondering if that's an economy class seat, then what happens when you try and go business? So that's an economy class seat. So what about business? Is business more expensive? Okay, £338 is not bad, but two and a half hours, is it really worth it? £400? I don't think so. So I would say just go with economy and just pay the lower fare. So that's pretty good. Okay, £30. So what about if we went to price comparison websites? So let's go with Kayak, and we'll go for the same time because we know roughly what the price is going to be. But I think Kayak has the same thing, and the airport code is what, ATP, AGP. So AGP, we know that's our port, and we know that we're going to go around about April. So we're going to go April 17th, and we're thinking about coming back on the 30th. I want to return on the 17th, and it says add 4 weeks. Oh, right, okay. 13 days, 30 nights. Should be the 30th. Okay. I don't know why it's a 6 to 8. Ah, okay. Departures on Wednesday. It's Thursday. Why Thursday? Departures Wednesday. Okay. Well, Thursday through Sunday. Actually, it's next Tuesday, but okay. Oh, for a weekend. Right, okay. Dates. Okay. So 17th, return on the 30th. 17th? Yeah, that's it. 17th, 30th. Okay, cool. Cool. Next. So it looks like it's more expensive. Got 42 at the moment, 26. So same sort of thing, 26 being the cheapest. Let's check on Expedia. I like Expedia. So going from London, all terminals, and we want to go to, let's book a flight. So all airports, and we'll go to AGP, which is Malaga, and then we'll go April 17th, 30th, one traveler. Let's go on economy, and let's see if the prices are consistent. So we've got 26 quid. Let's see if we can get it a bit cheaper. Okay, interesting. So it looks like Expedia is actually more expensive, and I have an account with Expedia, but it's more expensive for the same trip. So we've actually saved £20 just by doing that one thing. £20 saved already, and I didn't have to do anything. There's a simple comparison on the site, and we can see that we already have that. So let's say you have Expedia and you want to see, and you say, right, I really want to do it for Expedia because it's easier for me to do and I can have everything in one place. Great. So first thing that we want to do is we want to go to trips. These are my saved trips. Okay, so you don't actually need to go to trips, but these are my saved trips. This is what I'm thinking about doing. So that's Palawan, India, Cebu, and Vietnam. So that's pretty cool. And what we want to do is go to Expedia, and I want to have a look at a deal which is called packages. So where are we going? We want to go from London again, and I want to go to AGP. So Malaga, and I'm going to go to. I'm going to go on the 17th because we know that's a cheap flight till the 30th. Right, those are my dates. So that's another thing you want to do when you're a solo traveler. Decide on the dates that you want to go. Now, why did I pick 17th of April? Because it's quite hot in Malaga, and generally in Malaga it's quite hot all year round because because it's nearby Africa. So if you, well, I say it's nearby Africa, but it's not. It's Spain just generally is hot. So if I look at Spain on the map, and this gives you an idea as well as to how to book your holiday. If I look at Spain, Spain is situated. If I can move the cursor. Oh, geez, it's nice, but we want to see Spain. There we go. Spain is here. Yeah, so we have Valencia, we have Madrid, and Malaga is down here, next to Gibraltar. Now, Gibraltar is, from what I understand, situated near Africa. Yeah, because you have the African continent down here. So what happens is you get a jet stream, essentially. So you have like this hot air because you're nearby the equator. So that gives you an idea as to the temperature of the holiday, because now you know it's nearby the equator. You know it's going to be hot all year round, more or less, right? So if I go to MSN Weather, I can show you this. And I want to have a look at the there's a map that you can have a look at on MSN Weather. Oh, there we go. This one here. And you can see through the winter cycle, I think, or is it the wind one? Wind, here we go. So wind kind of gives you an idea. Whoa, wind is all over the place today. So Barcelona, but you can have a look at the temperature. And if you look down here, you see this massive temperature down here? So if you go nearby the equator, it's always going to be hot, right? Because the equator is the hottest place. So Africa is going to be like the absolute hottest, with the regions being down here, about 38, 40 degrees as the epicenter. And as you get further away from the equator, it gets colder. So Britain is somewhere up here. So it's quite cold at the moment, around about 4 degrees-ish. But not minus 19 like it's saying. It's just that particular, that particular part of the air is quite cold. Where I am at the moment, it's probably about -2, -3. And, we've got -19, -15 kind of more or less coming in, but they're coming in from, no, they're not. They're moving away. It's moving away. So that's one thing that you can do to help as well, is kind of see what the temperature would be like at that destination that you're going to. It'll give you an idea as to roughly what you can expect when you arrive. Yeah, so we've got Africa down here. India and Thailand will be roughly around here as well. So yeah, that's one thing that you can do. So let's have a look at that package holiday. You can go for 1 or 2 travelers. Usually when booking for a room, it's around about 2 travelers, but it's fine. And sometimes you can get some really good deals on the hotel. They'll give you the flight back in Expedia if you have points. I do, because I use Expedia for my flights and my booking. So you can get some really good discounts because I'm, being a gold member, it's a bit cheaper. But say, for example, you don't have a gold membership, I would say just shop around with some certain sites and you'll get some good deals. So, we've got some inns here for, £500 for a holiday. Not too bad, not too bad. Now, the ones that I like on Expedia tend to be the ones with VIP access. If you can get a cheap one with VIP access, it's generally pretty good. And sometimes they can go up in the region of 5-star hotels, which are like £400, £500. In this case, it's 3. But they're not too, but I wouldn't say it's too bad. For £700, it's a little bit expensive in terms of what you get. But for £500 off, it's not too bad. 1 free bottle of wine per stay. What more can you ask? 1 free bottle of wine, come on. If you're going on holiday, that's not too bad at all. And because it's a package holiday, it includes flights as well. Well, it actually does it. Let's have a look. So if I was to reserve that, does that include the flight cost? To an extent, yeah, it does. Yeah, so you get the flight cost included as well. So for £700, not too bad. I think we can do better than that. I think we can do better. So let's have a look. Real life example. as a solo traveler. Let's see all properties. 1,200, 888. Let's go for lowest price first. 300. So we want full. What was it called? Full in order. Spain, España. There we go. That's the one we want. So we have Malaga, which is down there, but we'll try with Fuengirola, and we'll do the same thing because that's the place that we want to be at. So rather than going directly with Spain, you can go directly with not directly with Spain, but directly to different parts of Spain. We want to go to just one specific part. And we know the city centre is pretty good, but we're expecting a slightly higher price for the city centre. 260. Really, that's a really good price. I'm actually surprised at how good that is. That's a really good price. That's a bit too good. Let's have a look. See, why is it so cheap? Was that? Oh, because it's a 2-star hotel. Of course, of course. Well, 2-star. Oh well, there you go. But, I mean, 2-star hotel. I mean, 300 quid. It's not. It's not bad. It's not bad. That's pretty good. That's pretty decent. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. So we've got 8, 9 miles away. We're not interested in that. 15 miles away. No, not interested. 0.6, 1 mile away. That's walking distance. That's not too bad. And how many stars a hotel are we getting? 2-star hotel. Yeah, we're not interested. We want 4 or 5 star. Can we do any better than that? Let's try 5 star. What's the cost for 5 star? Let's have a look. The lowest price. There we go. £408. £408 for a holiday. Okay, it's 2 miles out. 2 miles out. But realistically, that's a 30-minute walk, right? And you're going to be walking anyway on a holiday. That is not a bad price. Honestly, that's not a bad price. That's pretty decent. You know, and you get the flight included. You get the flight added, which is, that is amazing. You know, half an hour away from the airport. Banger. What a banger. Okay, you have to pay for breakfast, which is a bit annoying, but how much is, can we actually add breakfast? No, for some reason we can't add breakfast. And you can get fully refunded. Fully refundable. £29 extra. Fully refundable. Bargain. Bargain. Fully refundable, sea view, free Wi-Fi, parking. Just no breakfast though, which is a bit of a bummer. I mean, I wouldn't feel too discouraged by that. Because, from Costa del Sol, that's, you can have breakfast when you're there, so that's not too bad. I'll just tell them that I wasn't able to book breakfast because the option wasn't available. All right? So that's not too bad at all. I mean, that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. Okay, so £408. We know roughly what the hotel's called. Can we do better on the hotel? Maybe. Let's have a look. So if we want to book the hotel, I wonder if we can probably get ones on Kayak. I normally book for Expedia for my hotels, but we can have a look. Let's see, Flight Plus Hotel. Can we do better? I'm going to go to that place. And we'll put that down here. It looks like the hotels are down there as well. Okay. Okay, if the hotels are down there, then we can take this name and we can dump that over here. Now, I'm expecting this to be slightly more expensive because I think this is adding some discounts, which I have. So For me, for the prices will be different depending on kind of how and where you book. So for me, because I have extra points, it'll probably be about £100 more expensive. So it'll be about £507 without the discounts that I've got. So that's the actual normal price. But because I've got membership and stuff like that, extra discounts, that helps. So do we have that hotel that we're looking for? We don't. Okay. All right, let's have a look at 5-star hotels then in the area. Yeah, these are all a bit outside of our price range. You know, if we're saying it's £500 is going to be our budget, we're not going to be doing any favors by doing it this way because this is just more expensive. And these are all in different places as well. These are nowhere near where you want to be. So, let's have a little think. So we know that Expedia is pretty good. What about Skyscanner? Skyscanner tends to be pretty good. Let's go to hotels. And we'll do that hotel. Because we know what the flight's going to cost us, so we can add the two prices to get it in order to build up package holiday. 17, 30, 2 adults, 1 room, search the hotel. And we have the hotel for £67 a night. And we even have some price comparisons. So we've got, £67 a night, £72 in Expedia, 870 all in, right? But our package holiday was 500 all in. So we've saved ourselves £300. Yeah, about £300 just by booking a package holiday. So I mean that's just a bargain. That was just a good price. So I'm going to just double check that price there for a second. So I want to make sure I'm giving you the best possible price that I can find for that particular holiday. And let's do a reserve on that. We want fully refunded, so let's go, we need to go a little bit more expensive. Because I don't see, there we go, fully refundable, £179. I mean, at 408, that's not too bad at all. That's £600. Okay, it's a little bit over budget, but it's fully refundable. If anything happens, then fully refundable, and we get breakfast. So if you go fully refundable, you get breakfast in as well. So absolute bargain, absolute steal. Let's reserve that, and let's see what price we come up with. Is that including my discounts? I don't know. I don't have anything here saying it's including discounts, so I don't know exactly. We'll do, it's like 2.5 hours. Who cares? 2 hours 55 minutes. Yep, that's fine as well. So let's see what our total is. 1,100 because it's 2 travelers. So for 2 travelers, we've got the price of the hotel and the flight for just over £1,000, but it's 2 travelers. So there you go. So if you're looking at, probably a couple, if you're a couple, for example, that's not too bad at all. That's fine. Of course, we can include transport, for example, things to see like Tangier. You can go to Seville highlights, that sort of thing. But to be fair, that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good deal. Let's change the stay slightly. I just wonder if you're a solo traveler, right? That's two travelers. But what if you're solo? What if you just want one? So let's go with one. And what's the same hotel for us? See if we can get that same hotel again. And we have slightly more expensive, but let's have a look. In fact, I can't even find that hotel. It's a bit annoying. Let's see if that's still there. Or was that for a double? Yeah, so it's more expensive. It's more expensive because it's double. But notice how interesting that was. So we saved a bit of money by having two travelers, right? So they gave us a discount. But even here, even with one traveler, it's still less expensive than on kayak. 772 for 771, which includes. Does that include the flight? Yeah, that includes the flight as well. That includes the flight as well. So that's not too bad. So we're still saving money here. You know, we've got other ones here as well. Like we've got Hotel Las Spring. Let's see if that's a 5-star hotel. Go from lowest to highest. Yep, 771. So we've got that as a 5-star hotel, which is a pretty decent price. Not bad at all. But includes the price of the flight as well. Yeah, not too bad. So if we go fully funded, we get 900. So it'll be about 900 pounds. So in this case, funnily enough, I would say book for two because it's only okay. Don't because it's £200 cheaper. If you're booking for two, then yeah, that's still quite expensive though. It's like £985. So let's see. Maybe we can do a bit better than that. Like if it's £500 per person, that's quite expensive. But it depends on what your budget is, right? It depends on what your budget is. So if you just want 771, then you know, and if you know you're not going to change your plan, just do no refund, no refund, and then pay for the breakfast when you're there. That's probably easiest. If you are okay, you're fully refundable, £59 and get more off, so you can actually have a better room. That's pretty cool. So you can have so you can have a bigger room for 59 quid, and you have it fully refunded as well for a cheaper price than if it was fully refunded with breakfast. So yeah, it's a bit of an apples and oranges one. This, I would say, it's still fully refundable. So you can do fully refundable before 16th of April and no extras, and it's cheaper than if you do breakfast. Okay, so if I reserve that, are we looking at a grand still? 830. Okay, 830. That's not bad at all. Fully refundable, and we saved 300, like a couple £100, £100. So still not quite 500, but it's near. So for a 5-star hotel, not bad. Honestly, it's not bad. Not bad at all. So yeah, I hope that's helped a little bit in terms of booking a holiday. But like, say for example, you can't book a 5-star hotel and you want to shop around. So you've got £67 a night, 860 hotel stay. Maybe we can go a bit. Maybe we can go a bit better. Maybe we can go a bit better. Let's have a look. Hotel stays. £55 a night. But let's check from our time, which is the 17th, right, to the 30th. 13 nights, one guest. So £73, 72 on hotels, 62 on Airgo. But we've got £49, two guests on reserving. So we can actually get it cheaper than that. So let's go reserving nights. Let's see if they hold true to what they say. We can get the property from 600 so 638, and is that fully refundable? So accommodation only, and we can get free cancellation. So with free cancellation and the flight, we can get up to 794. So it depends on whether or not we want to cancel. So without cancellation, we can go down to about 658 for a 5-star hotel with the flight. About 658, 660, about 660, and that's more within our budget. So we can save quite a bit of money here. So yeah, I hope that kind of helps that in terms of booking the flight as a solo traveler. And I hope you found this video quite helpful in terms of certain things that you want to see, in terms of booking the flight, things to think about. And yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want more tips. And I hope to see you soon. Press that like button down there. Leave a comment. Your comments are very, very welcome on this channel, because I'm sure there's lots of you that will be thinking about taking a holiday, stressed out from your work, that kind of thing, and you just want some more advice on what to look for, what to see. Perhaps there's not that many recommendations that you want to have, not the recommendations that you're getting, that sort of thing. So your comments are invaluable to me, especially to create the content that I want to give to you guys and make sure that you're getting the highest quality experiences from your holidays as well. So yeah, if you've enjoyed it, like, comment, share, subscribe. Cheers. Thank you.